Tonight, we reflect on the tragedy and the spirit of resilience within the community. That is where we begin tonight. Good evening, and thanks so much for being with us. I'm Jennifer Bellamy.
And I'm Faith Jesse, and tonight the community continues to remember the mass shooting that happened inside those walls at Apalachee High School 1 year ago today. We do have live team coverage tonight in Barrow County covering every angle of the shooting and how students in the community are reflecting. We want to get straight out to our Ron Jones, and we know that, Ron, you have been out in Winder all day today. You've been hearing from the community, hearing from students and families. What are they telling you?
Yeah, that's right. So, Faith and Jennifer, this is what we know so far, is that it's been a very somber day as people pause to try to take a moment to remember the shooting that changed 4 lives after it unfolded on Jay Hall on the morning of this same day last year. The shooting at Apalachee High School is still fresh on the minds of many of these students, parents and teachers, and the community as well. So we saw very few students actually walk into Apalachee High School today. Classes were optional with excused absences offered so students could reflect at home. And those who did attend spent the day giving back, taking part in service projects at places like Habitat for Humanity. And this afternoon we were here as those school buses were pulling off to take students home for the day. Now, 4 lives, as you know, 4 lives were taken when a suspected gunman opened fire right here at Apalachee High School. 2 students and 2 teachers shot and killed. Christian Angelo, he was just 14 years old at the time, and his family remembers him as a teenager who was just a good kid, described as loving, sweet, and caring, and telling 11 Alive that he loved to play video games with his friends. And 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn is remembered as a funny and creative kid who just loved to give big hugs and had a great sense of humor. Christina Iremi was a math teacher, and she is remembered as someone who cared deeply for her students and was a dedicated member of the Romanian Orthodox Church right here in Georgia. And Coach Richard Aspinwall was a beloved assistant football coach and educator. And several accounts said that he died trying to protect his students. Now, 9 other people were hurt on the day of that shooting. And tonight we're going to be taking a brief look back at what happened as all this unfolded one day from this same day last year. So the first 911 call coming in at 10:20 a.m. alerting law enforcement of an active shooting here at Apalachee High. Within minutes, Barrow County deputies and emergency crews rushed to the scene, and some students tell 11 Alive that they ran to the bathroom, others locking themselves in closets until police gave the all clear. Outside, students evacuated to the football field, and parents raced, as you know that they did, to the school to check on their kids and make sure they were okay. And just 5 minutes after the GBI says Colin Gray opened fire inside Apalachee High School, he surrendered to school resource officers. And folks, tonight, both the accused shooter, Colin Gray, and his father are facing murder charges for that tragedy that unfolded here last year. And there are also at least two civilian or civil cases in the works against Barrow County school systems and also the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And now we want to get over to our very own Grace King. She's right here at Apalachee High School. So Grace, where do things stand tonight?
Well, today, Barrow County Judge Nicholas Prim announced the trial for Colin Gray will start on February 9th. That'll likely be the first of several trials in both civil and criminal court that we'll see. Within minutes of the September 4th tragedy, authorities arrested 14-year-old Colin Gray, alleging he killed 4 people and wounded 9 others at his high school.
He will be charged with murder and he will be tried as an adult.
The next day, authorities arrested his father, Colin Gray, too, creating a first-of-its-kind case in Georgia where a parent is held liable for a crime their child is accused of.
His actions of leaving that firearm available to Colin Gray is why we're here today.
Colin's trial, now scheduled for February 9th, will be heard by jurors from Hall County. Judge Nicholas Prim hopes that'll avoid potential biases.
What we're trying to do here is have a fair, clean trial.
Colin Gray could take a non-negotiated plea after his father's trial, according to his former attorneys.
We are here for the possible scheduling of a plea.
In civil court, attorney Mike Pugliese tells 11 Alive he's prepared to file 2 separate lawsuits on behalf of victims and their families this October against the Barrow County school system and the Jackson County Sheriff's Office.
I gotta take you at your word, and I hope you're being honest with me.
They investigated prior threats the FBI says were from Colin Gray.
If they would not have dropped the ball, you and I wouldn't be talking today about innocent lives being taken.
Pugliese says both parties have denied any liability or wrongdoing as they prepare to take their fight to court. In Barrow County, Grace King, 11 Alive News. Now in Georgia, you have 2 years to file personal injury claims in civil court, so we could likely see more lawsuits in the next year. Ron.
All right, Grace, thanks a lot for the update. By the way, today, at the state capitol, families and students, they began to share some of their concerns as well. They began to share some of their struggles and grief. So we heard from an Apalachee High School graduate who was inside the classroom when the shooting actually took place. And she says that she sent her goodbyes to her family because she did not know if she would make it out alive.
The minutes we sat there in the dark, hot, compacted classroom felt like hours waiting for someone to come in and rescue us. I have never been put into such a tragic, traumatizing, evil situation. We all can agree in this room that we need to protect our children. No child deserves to have the fear of having to go to school. No child deserves to experience what we have experienced. It's not fair.
Now, we should point out that the mass shooting here at Apalachee High School prompted state lawmakers to pass a school safety bill, and the lawmaker who carried the bill was a Republican from Winder. A year ago, Apalachee High School just had installed a system that enabled school employees to wear a badge with a push-button alert system. That system, made by a certain company, alerted law enforcement quickly, enabling them to subdue the gunman. The measure signed into law by Governor Brian Kemp standardized that and other safety measures in schools throughout the state.
We had Centegix online a month or so before the incident, so absolutely saved lives. It was probably one of the best things we did with some of the school safety money that the state's provided over the years.
By the way, Persinger's school safety bill got signed into law this year with support from both political parties. And coming up tonight at 5:30, we're going to take a look at how the community will come out to remember this tragedy 1 year later. But before I toss it back to you ladies in the studio, there's a young lady. She was walking around handing out these bracelets. And this is for the folks who are going to come here to that vigil tonight at 7 o'clock. And she handed out to some of us journalists as well. This is about awareness when it comes to gun safety, or when it comes to using a gun safety. And this one has the colors of Apalachee High School. And so she's asking everyone who shows up to the vigil to wear both of these bracelets to honor the victims as well.